Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm Jessica Abernathy, and with me today is Tricia Montgomery, and you are listening to Pets Are Family.
Who you got there? Well, hello, Bin
Got
Laden.
a special guest. Yeah, he's decided to come join us today.
Hello, Benny. Are you giving your mom a love bite?
He can't hear you because you're in my ear.
That's a big yawn. He's got a big yawn.
He's just like, oh, yep.
Bin
He's like,
Laden,
okay, I'm just.
how can
like,
you
I'm
hide him from us, Jessica? You hide Bin Laden from us.
He's not allowed in my office.
It's because you're allergic.
I am allergic to him, so we try to keep it. We try to keep my exposure to a minimum. So
He's
also a terrorist. He likes to. He drags my stuff around the house. So yeah, he likes to drag my stuff around the house.
That's okay. Let him drag it. You know, it's okay.
Yeah, well,
He's
then
a
I
cat.
can't find him.
He's allowed.
Yeah, I'm missing flip-flops. I mean, he takes one flip-flop and he'll hide them. It takes me forever to find them. It's a problem.
Well, maybe it's on purpose. Maybe it's intentional. So did you really need that flip-flop? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Right?
And also, and it's like this game of hide and seek. Maybe you needed some exercise. Maybe you needed to find that one. It's like, yeah, I can see that.
Oh my goodness. No. Nope. And nope. Right.
I love him. I love him. So we're talking to a beautiful woman by the name of Patricia Goldsmith from CancerCare, and we're continuing on our series of cancer. And I think we'll be wrapping this up with this one. But she is started at CancerCare, and I think she's going to tell us more. But she developed a program called the PAW program, and what they do is they provide financial assistance for pets for people who are undergoing cancer treatment. So the financial assistance is not for the pet, it's for caring for the pet, whether it's food, boarding, walking, veterinary care. And what I didn't realize when I spoke to her, I was introduced to her. Thank you, giving a shout out to Phil Cooper here, by the way, for introducing me to Camille. I didn't realize there are 1 million pets every year that are relinquished or surrendered whether to a veterinary clinic or to an animal rescue or shelter, because they cannot financially afford, or they're not capable physically of taking care of that animal. And her organization is doing something about it. I think they've been around for a little bit over 3 years. The program itself has, the CancerCare organization has been around for quite some time, and they've helped quite a few people on helping them
keeping
out.
their pets with them. Right. I mean, it's important. Yeah, they keep in their pets with them. I mean, because, sometimes even though he's a terrorist, and you know how I feel about him most days, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's the comfort you need, You all think he's cute, when he sits there and cuddles, but,
he is
you don't
cute.
You don't see the razor blades come out.
Poor Bin Laden, he's got a bad rap. We've got, and by the way, always looking for people who want to talk to Bin Laden about sponsorship. So let's bring on Trish Goldsmith of CancerCare.
All right, let me go get her, and I'm going to go put Finny up at the same time. So here we go.
Trish, welcome to Pets Are Family podcast. Such an honor to be with you today.
And I am thrilled to be here with you, Tricia.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for making the time. We know that this is a little bit of last minute. We're honoring a November Pet Cancer Awareness Month. I was introduced to you by a mutual friend, and just incredible, the work that you're doing, Trish. Tell me more about your organization and what you do.
Certainly happy. Talking about CancerCare is my favorite topic. So, CancerCare is an 80-year-old organization based in New York City with offices in Long Island and New Jersey, but we are a national organization. Since 1944, we have never deviated from our mission of providing help and hope to anyone that's been impacted by a diagnosis of cancer. Of course, over those 80 years, our programs and services have grown quite a bit. The three pillars of what CancerCare does relates to psychosocial support, education, and financial assistance. We are not a clinical or a scientific organization, but we are there to help anyone who's been impacted by a diagnosis of cancer to support them through that journey. Our model is a very high-touch model. We employ over 40 master's prepared oncology social workers that are the first point of contact for virtually anyone who's reaching out to CancerCare. So you won't get a press 3 for this, press 5 for that. You will get a highly educated and caring individual that will do a very warm intake and do their very best to help support anyone who's been impacted by a diagnosis of cancer.
That is amazing. You actually created a program to assist people with pet cancer or people with cancer related to their pets. Can you talk a little bit about that program? I'm just so intrigued by this program specifically.
I'm happy to, because that is also one of my favorite programs to talk about. So I'll tell you about the program, and then I'm certainly happy to talk about the genesis of the program. But the PAW program at CancerCare is designed to help cancer patients in active treatment to support their beloved pet, support their pet through financial assistance, education, and of course, all of the other psychosocial support that we provide to anyone who turns to CancerCare. What we learned is that many of our clients have a beloved pet, and sometimes, quite often, that's the only source of support as they're going through their cancer treatment. So imagine if you were not able to walk that beloved pet, if you couldn't afford to feed that pet, or perhaps board it when you needed to be inpatient or in cancer treatment. So we created a program to help cancer patients support their pet while they're undergoing active treatment. As far as we know, there's no other program in this country that does that.
I have chills, and I know that Jessica does as well. I heard an interesting fact. It was mentioned that there are 1 million pets per year that are surrendered each year because people cannot afford to take care of them, or they're unable to physically. Is that correct?
Either physically, financially, or otherwise, or they've been forced to move to a place that does not allow pets. There are many, many reasons. This is why I feel also that the PAW program is a win-win, because if we can do anything to help that cancer patient support their beloved pet so they don't have to give it up or surrender it to a shelter, that's a win for the patient, and that's also a win for the pet.
Trish, what made you think about this? What drew you to this? Obviously this wasn't part of the original when you developed many years ago. This wasn't part of the original plan. Talk to me about that.
So I think it was several things. First of all, I've always been an animal lover and an avid animal rescuer. But a couple of things that really converged to make me say, we have to create this program. First, out of the blue, 10 days before I started this position, I was diagnosed with cancer. And you can't imagine. Now, I was very fortunate. I had the best connections. I had great insurance. But wow, what am I going to tell my board? What am I going to tell my staff? Did the board think that perhaps I knew about this cancer diagnosis before I accepted the position? But that said, my dog Sully, who is behind me, God rest his soul, I lost him last year, was such an incredible support system for me as I was going through that journey and trying to make my own treatment decisions and just navigate through this. He was my soulmate. So then fast forward a bit. I was at CancerCare 2+ years, and I walked out of my office and into the lobby, and I saw a young woman sitting on the floor of our lobby with her dog in her lap. Now, of course, being a dog lover, I went over and sat down and I started talking to her. And she explained to me that she was a 28-year-old radiation oncologist who had been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. She had a scarf around her head. She gave me her dog, and I had her dog in the lap. And she said, "This dog gives me so much support and comfort. Thank you for allowing me to bring my dog to my counseling session." And that was the second aha moment. We have to do something to help support cancer patients and their beloved pets. And it was also a combination of when an individual sees their medical oncologist or their radiation oncologist, they don't talk about the fact that they have a pet. And most oncologists and treating cancer doctors don't say, "Do you have a pet in the home?" In addition, a veterinarian is not going to want to opine on whether or not it's safe for a patient undergoing chemotherapy to scoop the litter box, whether it's safe to hold your pet when you're undergoing radiation therapy. But a survey of many of our clients who are pet owners were hungry for that information, not just the financial support, but also worried, can I harm my pet if I'm undergoing radiation therapy and I hold them in my lap? Is it okay for me to scoop the litter box if I'm undergoing chemotherapy? And so all of this converged together to say we could do something and create a program that no one else has ever done.
You don't find me speechless much, but Jessica knows that. But I am just incredible the work that you've done and your organization. And how many, if you look at the PAW program, how many lives have you impacted, and how does that work, Trish, from contacting or getting into the program?
So a couple of things. We have made it policy now that every single individual that reaches out to us for help and support, we say, do you have a pet in your household? And if they do, we let them know about the PAW program and not only their eligibility for financial assistance, but all of the other content that we have created. And in a moment, I'll tell you what we're soon to launch. But that's policy number one. Number two, anybody who reaches out to us for financial assistance may be able to qualify for a PAW grant and a grant for transportation or copay assistance or other forms of financial assistance. So I'm pleased to say to date, and this program launched about 3 years ago. And you can imagine COVID hit, and literally the program launched 2 weeks after COVID hit. We have
Wow.
given financial assistance to over 3,000 cancer patients in active treatment. And we won't stop. We're creating additional educational content. And I'm happy to say that in December, we will be launching a national repository of free or low cost services for pet owners across the country. So cancer patients that come to us will be able to say there's a food bank in Los Angeles, there is free boarding service or a low-cost neutering and spaying in Chicago, etc.
I look at the work that your organization is doing, and I look at you, and I am astounded that you recognize this need, and you took it and you took it to a whole new level, and you've done something to help when most organizations or people would not. And so you created something that truly benefits people and what they give back, the pets that give back. I think this is outstanding. Can anyone apply to CancerCare, or is it how, if someone wanted to apply to your organization, how would they go about doing that, Trish?
So, Tricia, we have a hope line that is an 800 number that anyone who's been impacted by a diagnosis of cancer can call. And again, the call will be answered by a master's prepared oncology social worker that will ask how we can help. As we do that very warm intake, our system populates with all of the programs and services that they may be eligible for or that we can offer. If we don't have the resources, we do everything possible to find them for an individual. So, for example, if someone calls us and they say, I'm being treated for lung cancer, I live in St. Louis, Missouri. Yes, we have an online support group, but they say, I'm not very comfortable with online. Can you find something for me locally? We will do our very best to do that. Now, Tricia, all of our financial assistance programs, and we have many. Last year, we gave out over $81 million in financial assistance, not the PAW program, but I'm talking about all of our programs. All of them have income requirements that vary. So in other words, if someone calls us and is making $250,000 a year, they're not going to qualify for financial assistance. But again, we have a process for doing that intake and screening and matching people with every service that we have available.
You've been in oncology. Is that correct? Did you when you came out of the womb, did you have angel wings on you?
No, Tricia, I did not actually. For as long as I can remember, I had a dream of being a veterinarian, but life takes many different courses. And what I'll say is one of the defining moments in my life was when I was 19 years old. My only sibling died of a brain tumor at the age of 22. That was a long time ago, but something like that never, ever leaves you. And somewhat by happenstance, many years ago, I fell into a healthcare. And the second I took my very first job, which was a low-level job in healthcare, I knew that I was home. And then my career progressed that I moved into oncology And I really felt that that became my home and my passion. And I've been blessed with the opportunity in my career to have many different roles and as the CEO of CancerCare, to make a difference each day in the lives of hundreds of individuals. That's really pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, and it exudes from you, Trish. It just does, and it does. You have also surrounded yourself with an incredible group of people who have taken the ideas and the mission and the vision and really what you are hoping to do. Tell us about that. The people that are around you, because I know Camille from Edelman. There, tell us about that.
So, yes, you're absolutely correct. And so, very early on in my career, I met Camille, who was in a different role at the time, and in New York City. And make a long story short, we kept in touch with one another. She was a great fan of CancerCare, and Camille ultimately received a senior leadership role at Edelman. So several years ago, Edelman decided to do a Shark Tank type competition where they allowed their employees to submit ideas for a worthy cause that potentially could receive 1 year of free services from Edelman. Edelman is certainly an extraordinary firm, but not something that CancerCare as a non-for-profit could ever afford. So Camille reached out and said, I'd like to pitch the PAW program. We said, that's phenomenal. So Camille pitched the program. It was narrowed down to, I think, 7 entries. And they literally had the individuals and Edelman employees that were promoting that program stand up and go in and do the pitch, just like was done in Shark Tank. And the PAW program was chosen. We were blessed to have
Yeah.
1 year of Camille's expertise and the expertise of Edelman to help us brand the program, develop the messaging. We actually, I previously had a nice relationship with Katie Couric. We approached Katie Couric. She narrated a video about the PAW program. So it was just one of the many things that so aligned, and we're so blessed for Camille's support and advocacy of the program, which continues to this day.
Yes, I love that, and I love her. Um, so we're going to be Petzer Family and Moose's March is going to be attending the largest veterinary conference in the United States, which is the VMX show. It's in Orlando. CancerCare will also be there attending. It's a global conference that leaders within the veterinary profession and tens of thousands of veterinarians and veterinary technicians will be there. Your focus for that show is specifically to really spread the word about CancerCare. Can you talk about that, Trish?
Yes, Tricia. So we are very blessed to have a member of our board of trustees whose family are veterinarians. And she is very intrigued by the PAW program. And so she suggested that we, CancerCare, attend this large conference and have an exhibit so that when individuals go through the exhibit hall, we can raise awareness of the PAW program through to veterinarians and others. We also know, of course, that conference is heavily attended by many vendors in the pet space. We're obviously hopeful to raise awareness and potentially garner support because there's never enough money to go around to support these cancer patients and their beloved pets. But we want the veterinary community to know that if someone comes into their office and says, I'm sorry, Dr. Smith, but I'm undergoing cancer treatment. I can't afford the flea and tick medication and the heartworm medication. I'm sorry, Dr. Jones, but I can't do all of the routine immunizations. There is an answer. We can help people. So we want to raise awareness of this program and have an opportunity to earn philanthropic support to continue the program and supporting those cancer patients and their beloved pets.
I I think that is amazing. Moose's March will also be at the VMX show, and we're right across the aisle from you. So
That's
looking very,
awesome.
very forward to that. Now, talk to me about animal rescue. You've always had a passion for animal rescue. Is that right, Trish?
Oh my gosh, it is. Since I think I was a young child, there was always the chipmunk or the bunny that seemed to have an injured leg or something, the cat that I found with kittens trying to survive in a hollowed out tree trunk. So I was always bringing home those animals. And as I grew older and more independent and able to make my own decisions, animal rescue became even a greater part of my fabric. Fast forward, what I have decided in my life is that I'm only going to rescue the animals that are the neediest and that no one else will adopt. And that's been a part of my life for many years. That is how I got my beloved Sully, who was the inspiration for this program and by my side during my cancer diagnosis. He was tied to a tree for 5.5 years in the most rural area of Alabama, dumped in a kill shelter, emaciated, maggots in his ears, and this wonderful rescue organization pulled him and brought him to me. Ultimately, I adopted him. He was the most loving, sweet, and gentle dog. He loved going into the CancerCare offices in Manhattan. One of his favorite things was driving through the Lincoln Tunnel and watching the sides of the Lincoln Tunnel. So he was by my side in many ways for many years. And so fast forward, after COVID hit and my last trip with him to New York City, he didn't seem the same. He didn't seem to be enjoying it. He seemed to be experiencing mobility issues. Took him to the vet, x-rays, and an orthopedic surgeon. And here is the bottom line. During his time in Alabama, he was subjected likely to multiple beatings. His pelvis was broken in 2 places. His femur was broken in 2 places. His patella was broken, and he never had any medical care. The orthopedic surgeon said to me, "It is a miracle that this dog could even walk." Not only did he walk, he was loving, he was trusting, he was amazing. And I rescued him. And my 2 dogs now come from even worse circumstances. But my passion is to make a difference in the lives of animals where either they've been so abused or no one else will make that difference for them because they deserve it.
What are 2 things that your animals have taught you, Trish?
Oh my goodness. Oh, let's talk about Sully, the dog that I just talked about from Alabama. No matter how much abuse, no matter how much you've been subjected to, you can still trust and you can still find a way to love. That's the first part. And the second part is gratitude. Gratitude for how blessed I've been in my life, but gratitude for how much of a difference I can make just by adopting these animals, by feeding them, by loving them. That's relatively simple. Oh my gosh, they have taught me so much and made my life so rich and made such a difference in my life.
Thank you. Thank you, Trish. I thank you. You are you're touching people on a daily basis, and with every moment that you're doing your work, and just I am proud to know you, very proud to know you.
She's speechless, and all I can think is, I got a cat named Bin Laden I'd gladly give you to take to New York with you on a daily basis to the cancer center, because he would love it.
So, Jessica, I want to tell you, I have a cat. He was dumped in a kill shelter at 8.5 years old. All they said was, Fred is a bad boy. And so I'm seeing this, and he's been there 6.5 months. His time is limited. So I go and I adopt him. It turns out he's deaf. And he is a really bad boy. He is wickedly smart. He screams about everything. And he is so inquisitive. He'll open the cabinet doors. He does all kinds of crazy things. I really understand why they say that Fred is bad, but I will tell you what, short of whatever, any animal that comes into my home is a one-way ticket.
Oh yeah, well, Bin Laden ain't leaving our house, but I mean, he would have a heyday there. He would just greet everybody. But yes, I have the same thing. You know, he can't leave our house, but he would love going to the cancer center. He would go right from bed to bed to bed to bed to bed. Yeah. He would love that.
I told Jessica that I was afraid the government was going to shut us down because she keeps talking about Bin Laden. So,
and he's a terrorist.
I mean, what is Bin Laden's history? What sort of cat is he?
He is a gray and white little tabby. His mom was killed when he was born. We're not sure. He was found him and his 4 siblings were found in a pile on the sidewalk on the south side of Chicago. And so they were bottle babies. So we raised them from birth. I mean, literally they were a day old. And so I was their mom. Every morning I would get up, feed them bottles every 2 hours. And I would sit there every day scrubbing them with Dawn dish soap just because I wanted them clean. You know what I mean? And he was the worst. He would sit there and chew on me. He was like the worst. Everybody else would just sit there and I would wash them and then I would hand them off and then they would all go upstairs and get blow dried because I wanted to make sure they got dried. So they would get blow dried. So like the cat loves water and loves to be blow dried. You know what I mean? But he's a terrorist. He would just sit there and chew on me. So one day I was sitting there while I was scrubbing him. Yeah, I was scrubbing him and I was like, you little terrorist. And we just named him Bin Laden because we knew he was going to get adopted, but he stayed. So the rescue made me call him that. So yeah, he's Bin Laden, but he's horrible. He's good to me, but rest of us, he's horrible.
Yeah, well, when Fred gets angry about something, he'll jump up on the counters. He'll fling things on the floor. I have a wine rack that has like 16 bottles. One day he got very angry and he threw 4 bottles of wine on the floor, one of which cracked and spilled all over.
No.
Oh, he is unbelievable. But again, no one else would take him. I understand why when they put him in the shelter at 8.5, they had him for his whole life. They just said, Fred is a very bad boy. But
that's why Bin Laden won't leave the house, because I guarantee you nobody else. Yep. He would wind up in the shelter all the time. But he attacks my blind dog. I have a blind Shih Tzu, and he's always pouncing on the poor thing.
Yeah. Well, my dogs are larger, obviously, with Great Pyrenees. And so he does occasionally like to curl up in their tail and sleep, but then he'll wake up and bite the tail.
Oh my God.
I like Fred. Fred and I would have fun. You know what I mean? I think Fred and Bin Laden would swap stories and they'd be like, let's see what we can do together. I can just see him like the Grinch, like this.
Jessica, let's never, ever let Fred and Bin Laden Zoom, because our lives would be absolutely miserable.
You know?
It would be horrible.
It would be.
I can see that now. Oh my gosh. Trish, it was an honor to have you. Phenomenal to have you. With just a couple questions. Any words that you can give to pet parents who are faced with a cancer diagnosis?
What I can say is it's hard. It's hard just to hear those words and then to make decisions and to try and navigate through life and all of the things that come with a cancer diagnosis. Turn to your pet for comfort. They know they're there for you. I absolutely believe that. And of course, turn to CancerCare. We'll try and help you in any way possible, you and your beloved pet. And we'll do our very best to find the help that your pet needs and the support that you need.
Trish, thank you for being here with us. You can spend your time with anyone. You chose to spend it with us tonight. Thank you. And just thank you for everything that you're doing.
Thank you. It was an honor.
Incredible. I love how it was a topic that obviously created some emotion. Lots of things going on right now, especially related to November Pet Cancer Awareness Month, and just looking at the work she's doing and just the goodness and the beauty of that. You did lighten the mood though, Jessica. I love you for that.
You got to. I mean, I know it's a hard topic. It's a tough conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, cancer is all around us. You know, I hate to say that.
It
You know
is.
what I mean?
Yeah.
We deal with it. You know, my dad's just getting over his cancer. You know what I mean? It's just all around us. You know what I mean? And if you can't laugh through half of your treatments, you know what I mean? You're not, you know, that's what you got to do. You know,
That's true.
I hate to say that, but.
No, but it is, because I think even last couple of weeks ago, Dr. Kate Stone said, you know, you got to talk about this. It's the big, you know, that C word, that elephant in the room, start talking about it. But to give financial assistance to people, who to care for their pets, to keep those pets in the home. Think about that. You've got this diagnosis. And what do you do now that you're going to lose that emotional connection, that human animal bond, the thing that really provides you the comfort and the stress, anxiety, depression, all those things. And now that goes away from you. They're doing incredible work. And I'm so looking forward to what we can do together with Moose's March Pets or Family and CancerCare. I think there's just some beautiful things that we can do together. But it was our honor. She's an incredible woman and has had such a rich career in human health and healthcare, and then to go on to CancerCare and the story she told and how she developed the program, or how that came to be. No words.
Yeah, she's good people's, you know what I mean? And she lives out by where I used to live a long time ago on a far off land. You know what I mean? I feel like I could say that about a lot of places. But yeah.
You've moved around quite a bit. You have. Yeah, I can.
But it's her. But you know, it's kind of funny because when she told me that how she landed there, I landed there the same way she did. It's IBM. I've been moved. So her parents were, yeah. So yeah, that was kind of cool. You know what I mean? It helps, like, yeah. So I think we're going to see a lot of each other in the future. You know what I mean? With her, I think that's going to happen, and it's good. You know, it's a tough conversation.
Yeah,
it's going to
definitely is.
It's, you know, I'll always make light of it. You know what I mean? We always got to have something fun about it. Hence, you know, Bin Laden came and did part of the podcast with us, you know what I mean? Because we have to lighten it up, you know. And mind you, I'm breaking out in hives on my chest because of it, but that's okay. You know,
I can see it. I love that you're the yin to my yang. I love you, Jessica. You know that. It's the PAW program. That the organization is CancerCare.org, and it is the PAW program. And I know that we'll have all of those, all that information that she provided to us, and get that to our listening audience as well. Guys, thank you for being with us. This has been a long series on the Cancer Care series. We're just finishing up. Going to be rolling into Giving Tuesday here. I think this episode will air right after.
After, yeah, this is going to air after Giving Tuesday, yeah.
Continuing on the cancer series that we've been on for really the past 6 to 8 weeks, and honoring Moose's March, our charity, and that's Moose's legacy. And we're doing this for him and for pets and people all across the country. And early detection is key. Thanking our beautiful partner, Volition Veterinary, and thanking just you, Jessica, for being my partner, my friend, and just, yeah, it's just a beautiful day here.
Yep. So with that, and then we'll start probably a new series in the beginning of the year. We're not going to do one in December because December is the holidays and stuff. So we'll just do some stuff, we'll probably finish up with some more cancer stuff in December and then do some light holiday stuff. I think that's what we should do. I think we should lighten the mood a little bit, you know what I mean? But in this, in January, we'll start doing a couple other series. I told you that we had a listener actually called me and asked me this stuff. I was like, alrighty then. So,
what did they ask for, Jessica? It was on, what was it on?
Senior dogs. They want to learn more about senior dogs, which I thought was great. And it was not Leroy. It was not my dad.
Can you call it again?
So that was great. So yeah, so we'll start working on that in the beginning of the year, and then we'll go from there. So we're excited, but we've got the holidays coming up. So maybe we'll do an episode in December, like our favorite things. You know what I mean? I think that would be fun. Like Oprah, we'll do our favorite things.
I can see my favorite things.
I was going to say pets and human. You know what I mean?
That I love that. Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens.
Oh my gosh, we are not singing the Sound of Music stuff. I even know what it is. We're not doing it. All right, we're going to have to end this because my chest is getting redder and I have got to go take some medicine because the cat is infecting me.
Oh my God, Jessica, how do you make your pets feel like family?
I don't make them take Benadryl with me. That's not today. That's what I do. So I make them feel like family because I keep them in the house with me and I love them no matter how bad they make me itch. So that's how I make them feel like family. On that note, we want to say thank you to Forced Inform. Hey, if you guys haven't gotten a holiday gift, they have got some really cool holiday gifts out there for all of the family members. We want to say hi to Kathy Delaney at Naps. We love you, Naps. And all that fun stuff. And we will see you guys next week. Oh, unless I forgot somebody.
We're going to give a special shout out to Becky Mosser. We, all of our listeners, are wrapping her in our arms and giving her a hug and wishing her a speedy recovery. Becky Mosser, we love you and we want you to get well and come back stronger than ever.
Yep. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Pets Are Family. You can find us on all the channels now. Yes, all of the channels now. So make sure you share us with your friends, your families, and your coworkers, and anybody that has a pet. Make sure you like us, give us your feedback, tell us if anything that you want us to talk about, all that fun stuff. You can reach me at jessica@petsourfamily.net or Tricia@petsourfamily.net. Thank you for everything that you guys do, but make sure you like us, subscribe, check us out on YouTube. You can always see what we're up to. And we want to thank all of our sponsors, all of the people that support us. We love every one of you, and we can't thank you enough. And remember, check out Moose's March, moosesmarch.com, moosesmarch.com. Come check us out. Talk to you guys soon. We'll see you next week. Bye.